It's been a while already, but what's your key takeaway from the learning the ICO methodology and going through the inner circle program with Paco and me?
Of course, I had a reason to join. Otherwise, I would not have joined, right?
Yeah.
But it was really an eye opener for me. And I think I did it also on that feedback, what I left, the personal knowledge management. Instead of collecting everything in a Google Drive, and now I got a digital shoebox that is sitting there for 10 years. And, hopefully you named it right, that you can still find it. It doesn't make sense. That was a real eye opener for me. And then, of course, yeah, implementation. Paco is very, very to the point with that. And yeah, I'm sure you see that too. It's like routine. I
Yeah.
mean, we're all different, right? The one takes it easier than the other. But Paco is just like, that's why he has 4 businesses going.
Yeah, that's the key.
Right?
I mean, it's the same for me. Without the routines, it would crumble. That's one of the
It
key
is.
takeaways for
And
sure.
and and I really, when you travel, you got a 8 or 9 hour time difference for where I am. I needed a break, I think. You do a lot of traveling. I went together with my wife, and you do the basics, but then you come in your office. Oh yeah, I need my routine, right? And it was good to have a break, but now I'm just like, okay, I've got to get everything back on track because this is important.
Great.
Yeah.
So how was the ICO framework helping you there building the final productivity system?
I revamped the whole thing, which I can definitely show. But of course, I was already a user for ClickUp for about 2.5 years. And
You've been a power user already when I saw all the automations and things that you had already in
yeah,
place, right?
but my problem was I was also a power user on Trello.
Yeah.
So I had a leg in Trello and I had a leg in ClickUp. And that was also one of your first questions. Why do you have both? You got to let one go. Now, to let one go after 10 years of Trello, Trello, we got on steroids. I was answering emails out of Trello and sometimes automation failed. So I also always checked Gmail. So now I stopped that automation. It's totally turned off. So I don't even have a reason to go to Trello. And I never go to Trello. I mean, except we use Trello as an order processing tool which the fellow in Romania uses. And there's too much automation to stop that. It works fantastic. And we see it now as a tool to process all our orders and not really as a productivity tool where we plan all our things to do. Even our tutorials for Trello we are now linking to ClickUp just exactly the same way I picked up from you guys. And those links are in our Trello checklists. So he clicks on them and the tutorial pops up out of ClickUp. Now, if Trello or if ClickUp is getting better with their automation, we tried, we probably were working on it for a year. I spent probably $10,000 on it to switch everything to ClickUp, but their automation just couldn't handle it. It's not powerful enough.
Yeah, so the key point here was really defining exactly the information or the processes and the tools that they are living in. So there's no reason to make these hard cuts, killing one tool, moving to the others. You just mentioned yourself, you're reducing friction this way even and spending a lot of money. While it might make sense to run both systems in parallel, but very defined what system to use for what, right?
And that was not clear when I started
Yeah.
with you. I used the messaging and things like that as well on Trello. So right now, if he messages on Trello, I get a Slack notification and I get a link to go to the Trello card, which is an order to communicate on the order about it. That's the only, am I a big Slack user? No, that needs some improvement yet. It's on my idea list to build out Slack better if I need it. Because
That's the
I
point.
mean, we have a few employees ideas we have on ClickUp. They both are on ClickUp. But if it's quickly, chatting, just like, hey, I'm here and I thought about you and I sent them a picture, but not really business discussions, then we use WhatsApp. I mean, yeah, there's
Yeah.
just between one-on-one group discussions we don't do on WhatsApp. So I'm just testing the waters. Do I really need Slack or I don't know?
That was part of the project management, like a pro base in this program, where we had also the team communication. So defining where you have this happening, that's also crucial, right? So they know the channels where to go to. So did you change anything in this regards as well, or optimize in this regards as well when it comes to
We did it on
prioritization?
ClickUp. We did it on ClickUp already. So say, for example, I'm going to go for a trade show and I'm out of my office, limited contact. There is an area in ClickUp that
Yeah.
pops up that I'm gone. Or if one of the guys, they had a baby, whatever. Now,
Yeah.
then that is a more a team announcement. And they are all getting notified, but that's all on ClickUp.
Yeah, but I mean, what I mean is now you got your single source of truth on ClickUp on a different task. So when you have something task related, you do the discussion directly on the task, right? Instead of offline in WhatsApp. And that just shows that you're not heavily using WhatsApp or Slack, that you are using the system as it should be. In this case, ClickUp, where the communication and therefore the information is tied to the action. And therefore you're creating one place where the person can go to and find everything needed. And this is amazing, this progress.
And I also noticed that doing ourselves with email. So they forward an email about a tip or something, then I might forward the email to the team member if it's say about marketing, and I say, hey, let's chat on ClickUp, and I add a link right away to this article, and I say, hey, this is about the email subject line this, and then we do the communication about that email we do on ClickUp, not on email back and forth.
Amazing.
So that's something that I see myself linking more. Now, yesterday I had a meeting with the guy from Bosnia, so more about marketing and designing. So he booked a meeting, a time slot for half an hour. And then in that meeting request, there is an area, add your link to Trello with the agenda, to ClickUp with the agenda. So then that link is there. So I click on that link, and that's where we communicated about this, the meeting that we were going to have.
I love this implementation.
Overall, I had some structure, but it was all over the place. And I just needed to get back to ground zero and say, okay, we're going to start rebuilding it up. I had a compliment actually from my guy in Bosnia. When I jumped on a meeting and I seen his inbox on ClickUp when he shared his screen, I said, man, you got 100 messages in that inbox. What are you doing with them? Oh, yeah, then I know what to do. I said, no, that's not going to work that way. I said, you might as well just delete them all because it's not going to help you. And I said, I'll help you build your home page. Nice and clean. And he says, wow, thank you for helping me out. He said, because this works. So now he just has a clean board, a clean home page. He linked it in his browser and it says what he needs to do, where he's tagged. And for the last 2 weeks, I think, he never misses anything now because he doesn't have to sift through a lot of clutter.
That's amazing. And we saw there were so many inner circle members already in the other cohorts where they had hundreds of tasks pending and they're just moving on the deadlines day by day, and it never gets done. And by just realizing the differentiation between shallow work and deep work, and then you already can split this easily. And then by using the routines, you know it all. I don't have to repeat it. But well, it's amazing when this then swans over into the surroundings, right? Like you just described there, that even is it a client or is it a supplier?
It's a team member.
Oh, a team member. Well, then even better, right? If within the team, the mindset changes.
First, what I did was, especially if you're not new in ClickUp, so you have to build on what you got. It's sometimes better to start fresh, but I couldn't because there was too many in there. So what I did was I called it a different task with 2.0 and different folders. And then the old ones are still in there, but on the go, I just said, okay, now I'm going to move that one to the 2.0. And then I also have operations, for example, for dashboard building. The guy that always does it for me, about 2 weeks ago, he was still running my old system. I didn't move him over yet. But now I just moved him over and said, okay, we're going to move you now over to the 2.0. And now he has access to the new one. And we are moving his tasks in there. So he has everything at one place, not all over cluttered.
Amazing.
Because you need to have a structure to switch. You cannot just delete everything what you had, eh?
That's the thing. And well, you just joined the right time and where we rescued you before you just switched completely. But how was it that you had two coaches helping you, figuring things out instead of one, which is the typical coaching programs that you would get?
You guys both have different characters, 100%. We don't know each other very, very well, but Paco is a go-getter, more like go, 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 go. He is more structured. I give it with an example. I'm more like you. We feel each other go-getters too, but if life happens and you showed your screen one time and you said, yeah, I think you were sick or whatever. Oh, I got some due dates here that are expired. I'm just going to change the dates. You did it right on the screen. I've seen it.
Yeah.
That just happened to me after I came back from my holiday. And think,
but what you haven't seen in this screen is that I have my planner, because that's what we say. It doesn't matter if you have the due dates there and they're overdue, as long you're under control. Obviously, if you're working in a bigger their team and the team leader relies on the due dates, so they see what is planned during the week, that might be a problem. But if you have the weekly goals and you set them for Monday, the due date, so they appear for planning out, that's where we usually go then into our planner, in this case Sansama, and plan out the whole week for the daily highlights and so on, to work behind the scenes. So they become overdue during the week. But usually on the next Monday, everything gets rescheduled as well.
Yeah.
Maybe there was something overdue for longer. That's not an issue as long you stay in control and you know what's on this list, right? The real issue becomes when you're becoming overwhelmed because you have no clue anymore. What are these 100 items that I have there? Let's try to prioritize. This is the moment when control is lost, right?
Yeah, and no, it was good to have you both there. You know, the one shed a different light on it than another with different life experiences, and I'm sure you see that also in your other cohorts or clients. You say, "Hey, it clicks with me," and the other one, and it clicks. Personality is no problem, but the energy is different by both of you. And with all respect, I mean, the one has more balls in the air than another, right? I mean, that's the way we are, and that makes it a perfect team. And I have the same with my team members, like the one in Romania. If he fulfills orders and some little thing is off track, they think, "Oh, come on, like, hey, it's just a little thing." Like he right away gets anxious about it. So, and we all are different, but no, keep up the good work. It was a good experience.
That's amazing. So you see the well, you see the return of investment then for your inner circle.
Oh, 100%, hands down. If you take a course in college, on the end of the day, you think, it was nice to have that knowledge. It's lifetime knowledge, right? It's not like you spent the money up front and you see a return tomorrow. No, it is you need to change and you need to make the changes. And for years to come, that change will pay itself back. Perhaps not in dollars, but in sanity for sure.
Which results again in dollars because you get more time then at your
Now,
hands.
I have done 2 years of Run Like Clockwork. Ever heard of it? It's a program. It's a coaching program. Very intense. Yours is a fraction of the cost of that one. It was good, but after 2 years, I said, no, now I'm done. I gathered the knowledge I need. And yeah, that's, I'm very happy that I did it. That is something you should look into it.
All right, we will. I'm sure Paco knows it already.
This one. It's very powerful, even if you just read the book. But it's more that we are the problems ourselves with running the team and want to hold the strings instead of handing it over to team members and make them feel, hey, I can do it. We don't need them now. And that has, for me, it was with our systems, but it was a very good program for me.
That's amazing. So you would recommend it then to other busy professionals?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Well, thank you very much.